3 of Essentials of Prayer explores the risk of beautiful prayer with a focus on courage. I define beautiful prayer as prayer that does not start with you, but which invites you to enter into the heart and the dream of God. It's prayer which is prayed through you rather than someone else's scripted prayer. And courage means strength of heart, especially when you'd rather fade away. Let's revisit our opening story. I'm in the church basement in the deep hours of night, praying a psalm. But why am I here instead of sleeping in my cozy bed at home? Being here and praying this psalm is part of my ongoing search for ways to be the living presence of the risen Christ in my town. Prayer is the breathing of the Holy Spirit within me. This prayer comes to life when I embrace it with courage and intention. Prayer is love speaking to love, heart speaking to heart. Sometimes words are used. Prayer is as elemental to my life as breath, as heartbeat. Prayer is organic, growing in the rich humus of my lived experience. This is why showing up is so important. How we show up and where we show up determines the depth and quality of our prayer. Showing up is always a courageous act. Why? Because I stand at a threshold where I have never stood before. I stand before a fellow human being, stand at the threshold of something sacred. Beautiful prayer, I discover, invites me, opens the way for me to be the living presence of the risen Christ in the world I touch. I call this beautiful prayer because it is my entry into the blessed work of building and revealing the reign of God, the land of the right side up, in my place and time. Beautiful prayer also is dangerous prayer. Why? Because we do not live in the land of the right side up. Our world continues to urgently need the power and healing and wholeness that flows from the risen Christ. In my book, Anointed for a Purpose, I explore our role in being that power of healing. So a risk of beautiful prayer is to step up and agree to be apprenticed by the Master, to learn how to pray as he prays, how to go where he goes, and how to love whom and what he loves. His life is our template. So beautiful prayer is a deep, courageous transformation of heart and mind and spirit, a deep transformation of how you show up in the world. The risk of beautiful prayer is the risk of letting go and allowing God to be God. Capital G, capital O, capital D. The risk of beautiful prayer is the risk of actually being heard, noticed, and put to work in order to become the answer to our prayer, your kingdom come, on earth as in heaven. The risk of beautiful prayer is the risk of becoming real presence of the risen Christ in order to step into and live the Christ-centered life. Risk is the invitation and courage the response to be the public face of Christ. This may be news to you. It's what I know to be true. So how do you know when you are being prayed through with beautiful prayer? How do you know that you've prayed it? Here are 3 signs. First, you may come away not really remembering what transpired, but you may find yourself savoring the experience. A second sign that you've been praying beautiful prayer, a word may arrive in the midst of the prayer, a phrase, an understanding, unbidden yet clear and inviting, that fits perfectly into something you've been working on, or an intuition or an insight that gives new shape and meaning to a plan. A third sign that you are praying beautiful prayer is that you will be filled with peace, not through any effort of your own. And the fruit of beautiful prayer, your life will start to look different. You will engage in your world in new and more courageous ways. You may become a holy fool, going into the spaces where sensible people don't go, risking what sensible people would never risk. I am speaking here of the prophetic dimension of beautiful prayer, and the risk embraced willingly and joyfully for the sake of the healing of the world. This is an aspect of the Christ-centered life. So for your practice, slowly pray the beginning of the beloved prayer of St. Francis of Assisi. Lord, make me a channel of your peace. Gently breathe each line. Make sure you are sitting in a comfortable but alert position, better a straight-backed chair than a sofa, in order to breathe well. Let's try it together, and notice there's only one word spoken on your first out-breath. Let's give it a try together. Lord, make me a channel of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. When you pause with the troubling words, such as hatred or injury or despair or darkness, your heart may begin to crack a little, may begin to break. This too is a risk of beautiful prayer, because what breaks your heart breaks the heart of God. Do not back away from it. You can read sample pages of my books, Anointed for a Purpose and Dare to Believe, Rise Up to Act, and also purchase direct from my store. And for more on prayer, you can check out my book, Lord, Teach Us to Pray. It's more a journey than a how-to. If you have downloaded your Essentials of Prayer booster pack, make sure you reach out and schedule your office hour with me. And if this course has helped you, give a like, share it, and leave a comment. And subscribe to my channel. It's free, because more courses are on the way. Again, I want to thank you for joining me on this journey into prayer. Please put what you have learned into practice. God bless you. Dare to believe.